I am with Tim Novotny. He is the co-writer, director, and co-producer of a film called Mephistophiliac that's hopefully going to be coming out maybe around Halloween this year or somewhere in that area. But he has a film company we're going to talk about called the Novotorian Syndicate. Did I say that correctly?
Yes, Novotorian Syndicate.
All right, wonderful. So tell me a little bit about your company and how you got that started.
Well, we started in 2012. Primarily, we were working on a lot of short films and music videos, which we still do today, but then we started venturing into feature films, which is what I personally had more interest in doing.
Mm-hmm.
And this film, The Mephistophiliac, is going to be our third feature film, and we decided to just take things up a notch with this one.
I love that. Well, tell us your first two films that you did.
First two films we did was the features were Vile Prey and Pharisee. And the first one was kind of more, Vile Prey was like a serial killer thriller kind of movie, and then the other one was a vampire film, Pharisee.
Can people find those anywhere?
Yes, they would be available. I mean, you can Google them online. They're probably on Vimeo at this point. They used to be on Amazon Prime. We might be getting a revival soon for Amazon Prime so that they'll be back available there. Yeah. So, yeah. But that's...
You could definitely Google them and find them on Vimeo.
Oh, yeah.
Great. I love that. Okay, so share a little bit more about the company and how you got that started. What made you want to start a company?
Well, I always loved filmmaking, and I wanted to make my own films and start my own film production company.
Yeah.
So the name, like Mephistophiliac, which we took from obviously Mephistopheles and then combined the definition of a pathology and basically created our own word with it. Novotorian, which applies to my last name and just my methods, of madness, if you want to call it that. That went into a film company, and I was like, okay, the Novotorian Syndicate's perfect name because, I mean, we're kind of like a collective of creative people that kind of have, and a lot of our films are horror-based, but they're very counterculture, kind of like, like against the grain kind of films, very rough stuff. I just basically wanted to create a collective of like-minded individuals that would come together and we could make films and, work with local talent and people that were really, really skilled at what they did.
Yeah, absolutely. So where are you guys based out of?
Akron, Ohio.
Okay, so we're based right here.
Yes, we do work in other places, obviously around Ohio and hopefully at some point other states, which would be pretty cool for us.
Yeah, that would be really great. So how has it been directing this film? What has that been like for you?
It's been quite a fun experience because Kevin Winstead, the lead actor, he was actually the first actor I ever worked with ever.
Okay.
I started my company.
That's awesome.
So he, we both got together and he had this idea of coming up with it. He's like, we can finally make this idea happen that we've had for 10 years, and he got into that opportunity and we just started rolling with it.
And you guys wrote the film together as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah. That's got to be kind of an interesting experience. What was that like writing that with your lead actor?
Yeah, usually because I'm, in terms of writing, it's very hard personally for me to collaborate with writing, but with Kevin and I, we're usually right on the same page. So we know exactly what each other's thinking. The majority of the film actually takes place during a therapy session. So what I would do is I would step into the other character as the therapist and he would play himself and we would go back and forth with questions,
You would just think about what you wanted to say.
Yeah, and that's kind of how the writing process would work. It was very back and forth and very symbiotic in a way. So
it's always so good when you have that kind of chemistry with someone when you're working on something creatively. I have never written any kind of screenplay or anything like that, but I have written music before and I know, there are times when it works and there are times when it doesn't work, and it's just so nice when you have that kind of chemistry. So that's really beautiful. So tell me a little bit more about your directing process and what that has been like for you.
I guess it would change every time I start a new project, and it depends on the type of content it is. This is very different than just a typical horror film, so it's kind of more of a psychological thriller.
Right.
So my process, the basic process on set is the same. There's the same rules and same guidelines when you're speaking with actors or crew and things like that. But in terms of like writing and style, because I'm the one at the end of the day that has to edit the whole thing.
Right.
It does change, and it usually happens in post-production.
Okay.
Like, so editing style will change, and it depends on like my mental state of dealing with those kinds of characters and writing in the script.
Yeah.
So it's been, I actually really love working on this one. This is definitely one of my favorite.
I was just going to say, why do you love doing this kind of work? What has created this passion in you to do this kind of work?
I always loved films. You know, I grew up watching movies from the 70s and the 80s and even classics that go farther back towards that. And I wanted to take my own spin on, you know, making those films, but just take it to a level that maybe, you know, executives would be too scared to touch, you know, like content that they wouldn't want to cover. And I just wanted to like see what I could do with that, you know.
Yeah, have the freedom to create your own content.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's really great. So how can people find you? Go ahead and share your company again, and then how they can find you guys.
Okay, so we're on the Novotorian Syndicate on Facebook. We have a YouTube channel and Twitter, X. It's not Twitter anymore.
Yep, I know.
So we have those. We just started a Rumble account too, so that people can watch. Some of our movies are going to be available through there.
Oh, great.
And we also have, I have an Instagram account. People can follow me personally, anything I've done in the past with acting and things like that too.
Yeah. And local actors, if you're doing new, I know you guys are wrapping this one up, but in the future, if you do other work, can other local actors come and audition, and how do you do that kind of thing?
Usually we'll put out a casting call through social media or backstage or any where that actors would be able to find us. But we are still shooting a number of scenes where we will need extras that are coming up, because we still have 10 days left in production. So if they would like to be a part of it, they could.
They can reach out. I love that. That's great. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
It's exciting that this will be coming out here. So make sure that you guys stay tuned. Mephistophiliac, part of the Novotorian Syndicate. Novotorian Syndicate. Sorry, botching the name. But thank you so much, Tim, for being here with me today. Thank you guys for watching on Good Morning Akron. We had a great morning. Make sure you stay tuned. We've got more great stuff coming up next.